Reformation was different. Now that you have married her, some of you know what I'm talking about. You may even have a sister that is like that. You know that, okay, you can no law with this lady. That woman is still a woman. There's a woman inside of her. If you start rubbing shoulder with her, you stir up that strength again, because that's what she knows. But if you begin to give her soft touch, become very kind to her, you will bring the woman in her. If you see a woman that said, I will never cry before my husband, I will never cry before a man, there's a problem. That woman has been damaged. Because the nature of women is to cry. Like if I tell my wife something and that thing, she doesn't know how to change it. I said, no, you are not going to do this. No, you are not doing it. You know what she'll do? She will never tell me I will do it or anything. She will start crying. And the moment she starts crying, somebody is crying. What else are you going to do? Are you going to beat her on top of the cry? Now you're trying to stop her. Okay, it's okay. I don't like this crying thing. You are blackmailing me with these tears. I don't like it. The cry will increase. What will you do? But imagine she now says, so see, go and consult other people. I even call a bishop. I even call your brother, Pastor. No, what do you mean? I said, I call them. Let them come and judge who is. Do you understand? But you see that crying. When she start crying, what do I do? Beat her on top of the cry? I say, it's okay. If it's a strong matter, I will say, you are blackmailing me. I won't change. Cry till tomorrow. Guess what? I will eventually change that thing. I will eventually submit. Because a woman conquers by stooping down like this. Not by standing. And that's a very powerful force. Any great man, any Abri man or any courtman, every soldier, anyone that is, there is one small girl in his life that is remoting him like this. It's true. Every strong man has a soft point, a soft point, and that soft point is occupied by a woman. Question: how does that woman occupy that soft point? By being a very strong person. The man is already strong. He's not looking for another strong person. He's looking for a baby, sweetheart, baby, you know. And if you touch that baby, he is aggravated to protect that baby. He will fight you with everything he has. Okay, I'm still waiting for the questions. Okay.
Questions? No, so who will read it for us? I thought we could go through it. So if you are online, you can also send in your questions. So we'll prefer you write down the question box. If you also want to say it by yourself, it's still okay. You can raise your hand and they'll give you a mic. Please don't, people are online. Let's give them the mic.
It's on now.
Please, can the protocol send that mic where they should be sent to?
Use this one. Give him to us. Lots of time.
What are the defined roles and rules or responsibilities of the husband and the wife to build
Please
a beautiful marriage?
So you're a barrister, that's why I called you.
What are the defined rules or responsibilities of the husband and the wife to build a beautiful marriage?
Now, scripturally, the man is a head. Am I correct? So what is the role of the head? The woman is the body. What is the role of the head? Where does Jesus occupy in the church? The head provides vision. The head provides direction. The head provides instruction. Do you understand? So the head is leader. He's leading. Are you following what I'm saying now? The body follows. It's your head that told you we're coming to church. Your body carried the head to church. So more or less, the woman has the responsibility of execution. The man has the responsibility of casting the vision. That's why you saw the proverb 31st, 31 woman. It's as if she was doing everything. But you have to ask, where is she getting inspiration from? Are you getting what I'm saying now? So the man introduces sperm and travels. That's vision. That's leadership. The woman incubates the sperm for 9 months. Her body formation is changed. Sometimes disfigured. She goes into the labor room alone, push it out, and the man is answering the man's name. What did the man contribute in all that sperm? And he has gone to China. The next time he comes back, a 1-year-old child come and say, Daddy, welcome. In all that, the woman carried and developed. Are you following what I'm saying? Now, the man has the responsibility of provision. That's what the scripture said. He said the man that cannot provide for his own household is now become worse than what? An infidel. But it doesn't mean that when a man is incapacitated by one of the reasons that can happen to a man and he's not able to provide, it means that he's no. There must be an effort that he's doing something. He may not be yielding at the moment. All right? So you don't go and be quoting that scripture for your husband and say you have failed. While you see the man is making effort and things are not working out. Are you following what I'm saying now? But in my own word, why I have to bring this, because I'm not giving you my idea. I'm giving you a scriptural idea, right? Now, but in my own word, when I married my wife, I told her that I see women that wear their husband's clothes. I see women that iron their husband's clothes and all that. I also see men that wash their wife's own, that do laundry services and all that. I say in this house, there are no rules. There are no duties. There are no what? There are responsibilities but not defined. It's as we learn from the scriptures. But duties, you are not bound to anything. Are you following what I'm saying now? Now, in that house, I'm trying to remember if my wife had ever washed my clothes. I'm trying to remember. I can't remember. In fact, this morning I was laughing because each time I want to pay the dry cleaner, he will tell me, okay, your wife, the bill for the week is 6,000 naira for my wife, 5,700 for my own clothes. The guy just tell me the bill. And I said, but my wife doesn't even ask, how is this bill being paid? Does she ask the guy? As I will ask, do you normally ask this guy that collects your clothes how they pay the bill? How much the bill is? Do you understand? Because she has never asked me. But the guy always sends the bill to me and I pay. So I don't know whether he has asked the guy. I don't know whether you get what I'm saying now. So the question is, who should be washing the cloth? They should agree on that. That's part of what you discuss when you're getting married. That's why that time they're using to be smooshing and be repenting and be asking God to forgive you is when you're supposed to be using to talk about the major things of that marriage. If you get into touching yourselves and emotions are high, you will no longer have sense. Because emotion be clouds. Then you will see that this man is, the way he was brought up is that he thinks that the woman have purchased you. It means that I don't do any other thing. All right? The moment I get up from the bed, your duty starts. You go and fix the bed. The moment I finish eating, your duty starts. You come and carry the plate. The moment my cloth is dirty, your duty starts. You go and wash it. If the man thinks like that, and you don't believe that is how the home should be run, no, there's no problem, sir. You are a good man, but this part of you, it will cause problem. You can find somebody else that can adapt. So it's not a marriage that you start asking, what is my role? You're supposed to ask, what is your idea about marriage before you marry the person? Are you from saying now? So I think that question is not what I will really, beyond what I've said, begin to apportion roles. Two people marrying, know their personalities, their demands, and also the challenges that is facing them based on the nature of their jobs. Are you getting what I'm saying now? It can define who does what and when it is done. That's what I can say for that.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Another question.
Because, for instance, if we talk about cooking, like you asked my brother, when we're in school, we'll come back sometimes late in the night, right? I will be cooking. If I cook, I wake up and say, food is ready, we'll eat. I still do it tomorrow in my house. In fact, at a time, I go to market, even in this Enugu. I come back, I'll go and cook. I didn't want to eat, I've cooked. And she'll gladly eat. Now, but don't do what I'm doing.
No,
Now,
but they should do it now. That's why I say he's a good man. Did you hear me yesterday? I say this man is a good man. he's a better man than me from campus. I don't cook. He's always the one cooking and presenting, and we'll eat. No matter where we go,
but
we
it's
finish
my
fasting.
nature. So
that's why I say he's a good man. Women are looking for good men. Don't just be saying a man that fears God. I'm telling the simple truth. Many people have married people that fear God, and they are so frustrated. You need to marry a good man. He's a good man that will go to market, buy foodstuff, come back. He knows you have labored, you cook. Are you getting? And we should learn it. That's what is good. Are you getting? Temeka is a very good man.
No,
I can tell you. Let me say something so they can listen. See, if I see anybody like Pastor Emeka wanting to marry my daughter, I'll be. I know she is very safe. He's a very good man, and I think one of the things that helped him also that he grew in the midst of ladies.
That's what I wanted to say. He's not really being good.
He grew up in the midst of ladies.
He's upbringing.
Just as like one brother. How many sisters?
Six.
And he's the last born. 6 immediate elder sisters. So you could see that, and that one is like the first son.
Yes.
Imagine, first son and last son, 6 daughters or 5 sisters. So the people you grew up with was so.
Yes.
There's no.
So that's what I was trying to say. He's not really being good. He's upbringing. Upbringing bequeaths certain things to you. Do you understand? Like when we're growing in my father's house, we share roles, and irrespective of the fact that I'm a male, it doesn't matter. They say it's either you're working in the kitchen or you're working in the parlor. If you're working in the parlor, means you're serving, you're sweeping, all right, both inside and outside. You're working in the kitchen means you're helping to fan the flame. You're pounding pepper and crayfish. You're washing plate, and then you're serving food and collecting plates. Do you understand what I'm saying now? And irrespective of the fact that I'm a guy, the role was equally shared, and I partook of it. And being the last, by the time the other ones have left, I was left with my father and my mother. So I go to market and I come back and I cook food. Do you understand? So that alone affected me. Besides being very close to my elder sisters, I felt that women, you always want to treat other people like you want to treat. That's why, let me tell you, ladies, if you marry somebody that loves the mother very well, don't fight the person. The tendency that the person will take care of you is very high. Because already, except the mother is a witch or a Jezebel. If the mother is a Jezebel, means the woman is going to manipulate the man against divine patterns. Are you get what I'm saying now? But if the woman is a good man and the husband loves the woman, it's to your advantage. It means that love will be transferred. He already has something for ladies. He's not going to treat you, bad if he didn't treat the mother, if he honors the mother. So don't fight and say every time he's a mother. No. That feelings is going to be transferred to you. Because already it means there is an honor, there is respect that man must have had for what? Womanhood. Do you understand what I'm saying? But I know that sometimes what we do, we try to cut him off from his mother, thinking that, okay, his mother. I know there are pure divide, but I'm just want you to get that point.
Thank you, sir. Okay, in marriages and relationships.
Again, sorry, I meant the question as these couples got married, and one is a pastor, he's a major pastor in his city, but we know ourselves. A week after, or 3 weeks after, he called me in the morning, like Saturday morning. I was very, very agitated. I said, what is the problem? He said, I should come and talk to the wife. I'm a pastor. I said, what is the problem? He said, my wife expects me to clean the toilet. I said, before you married her, who was cleaning the toilet? Was your toilet not being cleaned? He now kept quiet. He said, Pastor, tomorrow is Sunday. I need to prepare. I said, so cleaning the toilet will make not to prepare for service. I said, I read I learned that Kenneth used to go and throw trash. Used to wash plates. Used to do all that. As powerful as Hagin was, he did all that. So I said, give your wife phone. He get the wife. I said, "Nne, I heard that you are telling your..." He wanted to say, "Pastor." I said, when he finished scrubbing the toilet, let him come and mop the kitchen and wash off some clothes. And make sure he does it every Saturday. He said, "Yes, sir." He said, "And he doesn't even come to the kitchen to help me out." I said, "Add that one to the role." There is a reason. There is a reason why I did that. We won't talk about it now. Okay, go ahead.
In marriages and relationships, when a partner feels unloved, the other partner is meant to supply the love. But what happens when the two people are not feeling loved? Who supplies the love? Or how do they get back to loving each other?
I will say three things. It's a simple question. Each time you find, because I've been involved, like I said, I've been involved by the mercies of Jesus Christ. I will not lie to you. God has placed me in a place where I have been involved in many, many, many marriages. Believe me if I tell you that. You know, what is shocking about the whole scenario is how skillful Satan is. Satan is powerful. And one thing that Satan understands is the structure of the mind. Give it to him. He's an expert in it. Is it mind game? Give it to him. Are you following what I'm saying now? Now, Satan knows how to make you believe that this woman doesn't love you. And go back to the woman and make the woman believe that the man doesn't love. So, I sit with this man now. And this man is talking. And I'm looking at this man. I'm seeing what is in his heart for the lady. Then I'll go to the lady. I'm talking. And the lady is sucking. I'm seeing what is in the heart. Then I come and meet the man. The man does not see that thing at all. I come and meet the lady. The lady does not see that thing at all. I'm saying, wow, what a wall. I follow what I'm saying now. So what I normally do if I'm brought in is that I let the man understand what the woman is feeling. Then I let the woman understand what the man is. Sometimes I've seen where ladies told me that, no, I should not believe that man, that is the way he is. That he talks so much. I say, I'm not talking about talking. Do you understand? When the woman is even telling me that you have been deceived, don't believe him. I live with him. Pastor, I'm the one living with him. I know what I'm talking about. I say, calm down. Now, what they need one is individually now, because this one said, I don't feel loved. The one said, I don't feel loved. The question is, have you taken time to interpret how this other person... Because you are supplying something, but the person is not interpreting it as love. So there is what we call teach me to love you. That means, how do you want me to love you? Okay, I'm doing all this, and you are still telling me I don't love you. What exactly do you want me to do so that you know that I love you? I've had to sit couples together and say, okay, what do you tell me now? And I will command this one to start doing it. What is that thing that she is not doing that is making you to say, Pastor, this man does, this lady doesn't love me? He said, Pastor, she talks back at me. She doesn't, if I give her instruction, she doesn't think that is what to obey. My words don't mean anything to her. And I said, Nne, with all these things we have done for this man, have you seen what he considers is love? Are you following what I'm saying now? Then you turn to the woman and said, what do you think your husband, what do you call love? He said, oh, there are no love. So that means what this woman calls love is a man that gives presence, time. The man said, I pay for every single thing in this house. There is nothing. I'm the one that runs the house. She doesn't lack anything. The woman said, oh, there are no love. That means he doesn't stay at home. Once he wake up in the morning, and I won't see him. So what kind of man? Why will you be running away from your wife when you say you love your wife? And I said, nah, I heard that you are running away from her house. He said, because the woman, if I stay in the house, she will nag me. Are you seeing it now? So it means that there is input and what? Output. Now, how do you solve it when this person said, he's nagging me, she's nagging me, the woman said, he doesn't stay at home. So are you going to say to the woman, oh yeah, stop nagging him and start what? Will it work? It won't work. So somebody must take what? The lead. And when you check the two party, who does God expect to take the lead, irrespective of the other person's? The man. Thank you. So the man should love the woman. So the Bible didn't, even though the elderly women are supposed to teach younger women to love their husband. But let's leave that one. We'll talk about it if we have time sometime. Now you see that the man is one who has a role to love the wife, even as Christ loved the church. That means I'm going to talk to the man and said, with all these things we have seen, you have seen what your wife, I'm going to encourage you. Start loving your wife the way your wife wants to be loved. With time, she will begin to submit to that your love. And by submitting to that your love, you will see that some of this input that is coming from her will begin to change. So whoever wrote that, male, female, together now feeling unloved, the wife said, you don't love me. The husband said, you don't love me. We are pushing it now to the husband. Sit your wife down and say, baby, it's okay. Let's assume I don't love you. I thought I did. But now, how do you want me to love you? I promise you that I'm going to make intentional effort to love you the way you want to be loved. Let her talk. And in the next coming 3 weeks, 1 month, 2 months, let us see. Because you see, I found out that when men make commitment and they don't keep it, the next time you're making commitment, the woman does not think it's a serious deal. So make those commitments and let us see in the coming days that you are really, really making effort. You see her attitude changes. I don't know anything that kills marriage like when a woman said, maybe I can't have it here. Maybe it's not for me. Maybe I've missed it. And before I left the house, I heard the Lord in my spirit say I should tell it. Never call that marriage mistake. Don't make the mistake to say, I missed it. Even if you miss it, it doesn't matter, you are there. Any marriage can work. Are you get what I'm saying now? Any marriage can work. So, let's have the next one.
How can one draw a line in technology? I like public display of attention, which is PDA, and I fancy it so much. How can I draw a line in not letting the pressure weigh me? I personally like even showing off my family, etc. online. How can I make the pressure of trying to meet up not affect my home and marriage?
Now, I need to understand the question. Sorry that the person may not talk to us, because one is it in comparison with what other people are showing, or is it that the husband or the wife, whoever, does not want publicity?
It's online and it's anonymous, so we
Okay, so let's answer it from both ways. Assuming you marry a man who doesn't like publicity, and you are this person that like publicity, all right? There is compromise in marriage. And these are some of the things you would have noticed even before you marry. There are extent to which the man can compromise, even to be brought to the public place. There is also a level to which you can compromise to leave your family matters out of what? Public space. It's all about compromise. Sometimes in life you can't have it all. Are you following what I'm saying now? If you have a good man or a good wife that is willing to give you, all that life you desire from God, the only problem is that I want to have a small, in fact, there was one of the generals that the reason why the marriage failed was because the wife was a very public person, and the man wanted a conservative life. That destroyed the marriage. Not everybody even when we are in ministry, there is a particular great woman of God that was shaking the world when we were in school. Apostle Ndukwe will know the person. Her tapes were all over the place in Nigeria then. She married, that marriage had issue there, remarried again. In fact, her marriage was a concert. It was carried live on international media. And it message, the video was sold across nations, even in Nigeria. Her wedding became a template of what people are using for wedding today. You don't know. All these your father will bring you to the, she was one that introduced it. Your father bringing you to the altar. Do you understand? That marriage didn't last. They separated and returned back again. Meanwhile, she married a bishop. But the problem was, this bishop said, we'll be sitting down maybe at the airport waiting to travel. People will just come, hey, woman of, and so this man was constantly feeling his privacy being bumped into. Are you following what I'm saying now? So he didn't have privacy. People were always coming. That became a problem. Number 2 problem for the man was, because the woman was a celebrity minister, and the way they're celebrated, the woman was also expecting the man to celebrate, to be like they may just be going out and he won't open the door for the woman. The woman is used to people opening door. Like, what's going on? The man would say, oh, sorry, just get in, let's go, sorry. And so the woman felt like not being respected because she's used to people opening door. So, but the major thing was that the man wanted a very quiet life, but the woman was already thrown into the public space. And that is, they remarried and they separated again. They've been separated for more than maybe 14 years now. I said, seeing the woman now doing online ministry, but I don't even know where the man is. Maybe you know the person I'm talking about. The woman my wife followed very well. Do you understand? So the issue is there must be compromise, because if the man does not want public and you want public, there is nothing you can do about it. Including public is not just about online, including people coming. Like there was a time I had more than 14 persons living in my house. 14 persons. There was a time my sitting room was people's bedroom. Now, if my wife objected to that, you've heard me to say that my mother lived with me for close to 11 years. The last 11 years, 12 years of her life, she stayed with us and didn't leave my house for like 10 years plus. The last 10 years of her life. Now, I didn't force that on my wife. If my wife had objected at any point and said, I don't like these people in this house, I must have found a way to handle it. Are you getting what I'm saying? So there must be a compromise. You don't just say, this is who I am, and this is who I am. You can't marry me and change me. There must be, marriage is about compromise. You can't remember who you are after you're married. Then you didn't get married. One thing that will change you, that will humble you, that will take something away from you, and also put something in you, is marriage. Do you understand what I'm saying now? So if that is okay. But then if it is public space, I mean, this person has to do with your emotion now. All right? Of course, part of the killers of marriage is comparison. Never make the mistake to compare what you're having. I said something like that yesterday. That is that part of the 21st century crisis we're having, where people are showcasing what they have. Before now, if your friends travel for holiday in UK, we don't know. If they went to Dubai, you know. But now your wife will be seeing that there are pictures coming from Canada, right? Pictures coming from Dubai. And how somebody is celebrating the wife on Facebook on her birthday. He bought a new car. Your wife now knows. Before, you don't used to know now because there is no how to make it public. Now, the question is, you must be now content with what God has given to you. Are you getting what I'm saying now? The truth is that some of those social media displays that you're trying to meet up with, like I said yesterday, they are not having a better marriage than yourself. That somebody is showcasing something on Facebook, it doesn't mean that the person is having a better marriage. And besides, it is more beneficial for you that you don't put your husband under pressure or your wife under pressure in any way. Pressure is not good. In fact, you told me yes, and I've asked you how do we start it, and she didn't answer that question. I left her. And probably that is, in the last 14 years, that should be probably the first time I'm asking that question. I'm not trying to put under pressure, but I want to do something about it. And in fact, there was a time I even bought something, she didn't use it. There is a time somebody gave her something, she didn't use it. So, but I don't want to make her feel that she needs her face to be clean for, it doesn't really, that's not how it works. So, you are not helping the man or the woman when you are making her feel that, okay, you are not doing enough. You are not man enough or you are not woman enough because of what somebody else is doing. Making demand on your spouses is very wrong. You can make requests, you can make appeal, but making demand, pushing them, putting pressure on them is an insensitive act. Please don't do it. I don't know whether we answer that. Eh?
Okay, so you addressed this yesterday, but someone is asking again. Just advice on the issue of family where the woman is richer than the man.
Before I married my wife, she said, I hope you don't mind if I'll be richer than you. I say, I'm looking for a woman that will eat her money. Do you understand? And I make a show or the age mirror him. I said, I'm looking forward to marrying a woman that will have mega money. Jesus. Do you understand? And I'm still the other I said, I'm still waiting for you. I'm still waiting for you. So a woman having money is not a problem. All right? But the mistake that is there is that you must know the woman before you marry her. At least there are certain things we know and we see, we ignore, we do as if we didn't see it. When wahala now start, we say, I thought she would change. No, people don't change like that. A woman that disrespects you when she didn't have money. In fact, let me tell you, everyone knows now to be a husband. When wahala is going on in the home and asking questions, respect him. I know that respect is mutual, but the way it is expressed is different. Are you following what I'm saying now? So a woman being richer than the man is not a problem at all. At all. But the woman, do you know that there is something about Jezebel that we are not talking about? Jezebel, she's very crafty, very skillful. And that's why some men will even be flowing with unbelievers. Because some unbelievers also know how to treat our men better than our sisters. You see sisters that because they speak in tongues and they do this, they just are so proud. And because they've taught them to have good service. Having good service doesn't mean, not having respect for people. Do you know that Jezebel wrote a letter and didn't sign it with her name and gave it? There was a time I was not working. In fact, it has happened. The first time it happened, I had a crisis where I was in the bank and I was out of job for 18 months. I sold drugs to take care of my family. Drugs, travel. Yes, with the anointing, I was selling drugs. Do you understand? Now, that period was very difficult. In fact, my wife was doing business then, and she borrowed money to start that business. And because, they were moving the payment system from the hospital to IPPS or Abuja, so they needed to say anybody that took money from cooperatives should pay back, otherwise Abuja will be debiting. And the problem there will probably be that after they finish debiting, Nigeria, they will still be debiting you. So she now went and borrowed money from bank to pay back what she took. And every month she was paying back that loan. They were selling 20 naira then to put in my girl's milk. I will lay hand on the pap and bless it and release all the nutrients. Real life story. Real life story. There are times I'm going for a program and I stood on the road hoping that I've obeyed God. Therefore, a miracle should happen. I waited and waited and no miracle on several occasions. For 19 months, 18 months, it was like that. Do you understand what I'm saying now? Now, my wife never insulted me once because maybe she was one earning the salary. In fact, she came and said that it looks like the way the money was, the way the money has been depleted. So she now said, okay, when my salary comes, can I send it to you? It looks like you're a better manager. So that I said, I'm not earning and I will not be managing the one I said, my friend, manage your money, leave me alone. So my job will now be to be supervising your money. When you're working, I'm not working. I say, no, leave that. Are you following what I'm saying now? But it was not a problem. But in the same city, there was another guy, a family friend too, that lost the job. He was in the bank. That project, he lost the job. And the marriage crashed. You know why? Because the wife will now wake up and say, baby, please, children to school now, please. He said, because I'm at home. Do you see? So this is a personality. It's not even when the woman is bad. It's because I'm at home. Because previously, 7 o'clock, she had run to work. So is it because I'm at home? That's why you're not telling me to go and pick the children. Baby, please. It's not because of that. Don't disturb me. Baby, please, I'm still in shock. Can you help us pick? Stop talking to me about picking my children. What are your children? Problem has started. That was how that marriage had issue. Meanwhile, my own, I used that period to bond with my children. So it's not, I'm trying to show you, it's not whether the woman has money or not. It's just attitudes and personality and psychology and maybe knowledge. It was an honor for me driving my children to school. I did quite a lot. If you ask my wife this question, my wife would tell you that she enjoyed me so much that period because I was available. You say I was a different kind of person. Yes, she said it. I had more listening ear. I was more attentive. I did things at home. But somebody has felt, okay, it's because I'm here. In fact, I'm going to live in New and go to Enugu and just stay. It's because I'm here. So, it's a problem. Understandings differs. I hear what I'm saying now. So, and when God brought me out, it's 18 months and he came out, the marriage didn't have one scratch because I was not working. And she was the one working. I hear what I'm saying. And so, it's not really about whether the woman is earning more than the man. It's about the understanding they have and the training they have received prior to their marriage.
Yes, thank you, sir. Someone is asking, is it right or good for a man to have many female friends around him, making them feel loved and attached to him emotionally?
When he's not married or when he's married, we'll have to answer.
The person is not precise.
Okay, now.
And also making sure that they are not entitled to his love, even when he knows they are becoming attached. Is it right to have...
Now, let me say this. I know I have said this long ago in one of our sessions here. Let me say it. Now, let's start from the married women. It is very wrong for a married woman or a married man to have any form of other relationship that is not family relationship. When you were a single person, you have personal relationship. When you became a family person, you have family relationship. You can't have a sister that is your friend, that is not a friend of the family. Is not accepted. You can't have a brother that is your friend, that is not a friend of the family. What we have now is what? Family friends. My wife's colleagues that are very close to her are very close to her. We are, okay, me, pastor me. We know that this is a family thing. My friends that are my colleagues that are very close to me. In fact, when my wife put to bed, I think the second child, it was the husband of one of my colleagues who's a female that is very close to us that was bringing food to my wife in the hospital because we'll be rushing in the morning to go to work. And my mother-in-law had not come. So this woman will cook, give the husband while rushing to work. Me, while I'm rushing, the man will bring it to the house. Do you understand what I'm saying now? So you are exposed when you just start doing something personal. Somebody follow what I'm saying now? If you're married, you make family relations. So anybody that is close to you in the office that your husband is not aware of, that is a problem. You are setting yourself up. My own is that the moment I meet people, if I have any form of interest, good or bad, well, bad, I don't discuss it. Because me, it's easy. You can hurt me now. I won't remember. As I'm living here, I won't remember it. So if I tell her, me, I've forgotten it, she may be carrying it and she's looking at you from that eye. So I have spoiled her. So I don't make that mistake. Like this girl I met today, look at what I have said to her. And even if it's a pastor, girls come to me and say, I want you to mentor, and that's okay. We mentor people as family because there is an aspect of the mentorship that I cannot do. So I want you to talk to my wife, let her get to know you. So let her now analyze you to me so I will know where I will come in. Some of them call her once and don't come back again. It's better. And some of them follow up. Even we invite them to the house, they come to the house, they stay, and that connection continues. It keeps me safe. As I'm talking to you, I don't have women problem. I will boldly tell it to you. And it's not because I'm strong. It's because I built system that has helped me. So I'm not shaking. Number two, if the person is single, you are in a sin when you are making somebody feel something. And yet, you know the person is feeling something, and you are not feeling something. It's even worse when you are not making many people feel something. You have become a champion. You will be judged. I'm not joking about it. Now, learn to treat ladies in a community way. When we were in school, we had a group of ladies around us, and we treated them, in fact, across board. All right? When in a system like this, maybe in choir, in drama department, in dance department, show love. Ladies know that you are a kind person. You're a love-hearted person, kind-hearted person, and you treat people well. You consider you are a good man, right? Now, anytime a woman start personalizing that likeness, because women are like that, naturally. You know, there are women you show one kindness today, they reciprocate it 7 times. And by doing that, they build closer bond with you and cut you off from other ladies. Now, the moment you notice that a lady is trying to be intentional with you, you know, maybe because you did something, you cared, you looked over her when she was sick, supported with, and now she's back on her feet, and she's now start testing you daily, start asking, how are you doing? Are you back from work? Just tell her, sweetheart, you know, no, don't use sweetheart. Now, this is even important. Let me say this now. Please and please, brothers, never use this pet name for sisters you have nothing for. I'm begging you. Don't make the mistake. Even if you wrote 6 pages memo and ended it with love you, just love you, the only thing she read in that text is that love you. And then she'll be waiting to see you in church in the evening to see how you will now express it. So anytime you notice that the lady is becoming close to you and it's because of the input you have made, please call her to order. Always call her to order. Please, don't say that except you really know how to withdraw, how to ignore her, stop picking calls, stop responding, ignoring, she will know. Otherwise, just tell her, it seems you have been, this attention, I don't really, I'll be affected. Just expose it, because darkness, when you cover things, they grow that are not good. Are you following what I'm saying? Expose it. But if you ignore it and feeling that you are the main guy, everybody's looking for you, and they are feeling that there is a connection between you and them, you are wrong. You are the one that God will hold accountable. The day you will break their heart. So, stop. What do I say?
Stop. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. What would
Our time is up.
What would you do if your wife is always annoying you and does not take corrections and it appears not to change? The second thing is, what do you do when your wife is not good in bed?
Okay, now, in this book, listen now. Why are you laughing?
I think the questions are coming up to the point where we need to now have our exclusive men's session, because the time is already up. So some of these things now is man talk. We will never be able to communicate it very well when the ladies are around. So just find a way and answer as much as you can. So let's share grace for the sisters to go, so we can now focus.
All right, so number one is when the woman is
What would you do if your wife is always annoying you and does not take corrections and it change?
Now, I have 2 answers to it. Number one is, in fact, I can make it right. Number one is, if in that book, there is some we said, try other plans or other systems. A woman is always annoying you and you're telling her you are annoying him, making instruction, telling her. That's all you are doing. There are many other ways you can use to correct her. You can use to drive that home. Let me give you, for instance. When we had our first child, my wife was her stomach was big, and her stomach is still big. So I always come back, we say that I work on this stomach. You are just how many years old?
The single men are just wondering what is happening here.
Do you understand? So I kept emphasizing, and when I say this, she would just get angry like I'm nagging her. Do you understand? So I thought, what will I do? This was the idea. You have been complaining that you don't like this. So I now came. I said, if you're able to return your weight to how it was before you gave birth, I will take you to any boutique of your choice, and I will buy dress suits for you. Just choose the boutique, choose the cloth, I will pay. When I came back from work the next day, she has gone to buy what they used to. And that thing is still in the house till now. Eventually she did not continue, and eventually I did not buy the gown. But I'm telling you that at least I saw, okay, it's not that she's not hearing me, it's the way I'm saying it. So the person could try other means. Number two, the marriage is submitted to an authority. You know, the way you submit your life to a minister, actually the job of wedding somebody doesn't end with the person weds you. It means that you're submitting, just like ordaining somebody into a ministry. They don't ordain you and you run out and be doing ministry. You always come back to show how the ministry is going, right? And so when somebody weds you and you're having crisis that you can't resolve in that marriage, one of the things you will do is to do what? Come back to the person and say, look at the crisis we're having, look at the challenges we're having. Are you get what I'm saying now? Now, when you involve an elderly a mentor that she honors and she respects, the possibility is high that person will be able to communicate that in a way she'll begin to think that is a serious matter and begin to align to it. The number 13 is pray over it. But while you are praying, asking God to, because eventually part of what we do to get every marriage problem solved is by prayer. Do you understand? But while you are praying, have a posture, because sometimes we are praying and we are giving God, if this woman doesn't change within this period, I'm going to give it back to her. In fact, I heard one that said, my wife another hand. I say, God does not like that. The father is your wife, you're saying that you are going to bring out another hand. Now your hand. I said, no, I realize. So while you are praying, assume that she will never change. And say, look, I'm going to love her in spite of the fact that she's like this. Very difficult thing to do. There are people that their marriage is a thorn on their flesh. But sorry for that, but that's the truth. Because when it comes to that, you are not going to send her away. You're not going to start beating her. You're not going to deny her rights. Even the right of provision or her conjugal right. You can't deny it and say, God, she doesn't listen to me. No. You will be wrong. And two wrongs don't make what? Right. So you will love her in spite of the way she is, because that's what Christ has done for us. Are you following what I'm saying? Now, I will just say the second question. Now, if you say the woman is not good in bed, it means many things. Yes. It means, it based on what you have been exposed to. Do you understand? It based on what you have been exposed to. That's what you are using to judge.
As I'm telling you, he has not married though. Is that I'm telling you, as if he has been a master in this matter.
Now,
no, the matter is that you may not have even been exposed to sexual intercourse before you got married, and still get married as a man, but you know that you are not enjoying this thing.
Yeah. So now, since it's a man that is asking this question is more popular with women that used to have this problem of man is not good in bed. So now that it's coming from a woman, that's why I'm saying, what has this man experienced that is making the man to quickly say a woman is not good in bed? Because it's easier to satisfy a man than to satisfy a woman. Now, if the man, let me even say something. The idea that God has about marriage and sex is that it's supposed to be a lifetime adventure. You're supposed to marry without knowing what sex is all about. Is marriage that's supposed to reveal sex to you. So even from the first day, you are a novice. So you grow from being a novice to being an expert, and it's a lifetime thing. So, as you are progressing, the question is, where are you supposed to be getting the knowledge according to God's idea? Are you get what I'm saying now? The knowledge is supposed to come from your spouses. So it's called communication. You know, there are people that yes, they are mute. They put mute button. And women hate it as well when there is no talk. Now, as a man, you are mute and you are imagining that your wife should know what to do to you at a certain time. What you should have done is to tell her, yeah, do this now. Do this now. Do this. If you do it, let's say, several sessions, she learn to do it when you what? Speaking. The alternative you can do is also, there are books that have been written on women being active in sex during, of course, sex for marriage. You can, written by Christians. You can get one for her and say, baby, read this book and see how it helps you, and then let's try what you have learned out. Be practical about it. Don't be spiritual and thinking you are walking in the word of knowledge. You know, let him be in the spirit and meet you there. No, you see. Let me tell you, emotional things are not always emotional at the beginning. That's why the person you married and loved and so connected, you were never connected to that person for years. You were together in church. Do you understand what I'm saying? Spiritual things don't always look spiritual at the beginning. Just like prayer. Let's pray now. How many of you feel like praying? No. But let's start praying. Are we doing spiritual work? Eventually you will get to a place where you feel it. In marriage, the way I was brought up, like I said, I don't hug. We don't hug. We're not brought up to hug and be seen or kissing and what. No, I wonder what's the meaning of that. When I wake up, I go from behind. My father wake up and go from the front. So now I'm married and my wife, the first day she was in the house, I was going to her too. I said, baby, I'm off. He said, just like that. I said, how am I supposed to go? Am I supposed to fly through the window? He said, not a hug. Okay, sorry. We did that until she got this, I'm tired of this. I said, okay, let's make a law. Thou shalt not go to work except you have hugged. So we made that law and said hug. Initially it was mechanical. The function was mechanical function. But after some time, feeling started entering it. So when it has to do with satisfaction in bed, don't say, I want it to come from in high. No. Let it be mechanical. This is what to do, this. After some time, it will now become an emotional function for that sexual process in that marriage. Are you get what I'm saying? So that thing you want, another man doesn't want it. So that thing you want, let her know it, communicate it. And vice versa for the ladies. God bless you.
It's been a good one. So I talked with Pastor Emeka about the book because I really want us to get the books. And yes. So we decided to bring it down to 2,000 naira. So I want us to pick this book. It's going to be a blessing to us. It's going to be a big blessing to us. So it's out there, 2,000 naira instead of the 3,000 naira. And it's only here they are selling it 2,000. Or they will sell it 2,000. They've been selling it 3,000, that end, shaking and all that. So I just want us to pick it. It's 50 lessons on the marital track to help yours thrive. So we'll begin to bring this session to an end. I don't know if there are questions online. Check if there are people that ask some questions online. Check out forms or not. So we're going to have an exclusive men's session. So if you are hearing us online and you are in Enugu, please, you need to come down to the hall. We'll have another 2 hours engagement. Dr. Adiolo will soon be here. We'll be talking about finance. We'll be talking about the man and his finance and other things in that direction. Then we'll be talking about things like this too: marriage, family, relationships, and all that. The truth of the matter is that 2 major things that once it's working in a man's life, it can ripple impact on every other area of a man's life. Is his marriage, family, and his finance. Once his finance is working, that's his career. Like Pastor Emeka is talking about when he had his pressure. Like, I felt it. I was part of his life then. And there is someone that is so sincere, although both of us are always open to each other. Like I could feel how will I put it, even though he will present himself before his wife and is trying to make sure I'm relaxed. But when I'm with him, this is not him. But he made efforts, this is not him. Now, he is more, are you getting things? Money is so important. When a man has money, he's confident. Money just gives this confidence, gives this boldness. So, the beauty of a man for me, money. No matter how the face of the man is, if he has money, he's beautiful. It's beautiful. That's why ladies marry all kinds of men, no matter how they are. You can see, if you wonder how did this woman marry this person? Money makes a man handsome. So money makes a man handsome. And that's why we've been paying attention to these things, so that you can get this thing and get it on time. There's no need to now become rich when you are 55. You've spent your youth. You've spent your youth. There are certain things, the appetite will not be there again. You spent your youth. So why will God now give me meat when all my teeth are falling off? I cannot eat it with my wife again and my children.